What's up, Shady Sports Network? I'm back here with a future IFL NAL Hall of Famer, one of the greatest receivers ever to play the indoor game, Tyron Laughinghouse. Tyron, how you doing today, man?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm pretty good, man. How the fans doing? How the people doing? How everybody doing?
Yes, sir. So, get right into it, man. You just finished up your season with the Duke City Gladiators out there. How do you feel your season went as a whole?
As a whole, I think we could have been better, did more to prepare as far as being together as a team and just putting it all together. Because, we done beat a couple of top teams, like as I say, NAS. And then I want to say we beat Tucson, but we couldn't put it all together. But I love it and relax. And I love to have fun and would love to be able to play again, but we'll see how that goes.
For sure. So earlier in the year, you were with the Billings Outlaw. At what point did you decide to leave Billings?
I got a call from Charles McCullum. He was like, "Hey, you want to play?" I was like, "Man, I don't mind going back to the IFL and try to help us get to the playoffs." So that was that, and we made it happen.
So, you and Charles McCullum have played for years and years. You two are like Brady and Edelman. What is your relationship like with him?
Man, it's great, man. As of right now, we call each other favorite cousins, but hey, we more like brothers, man. Ever since I started playing with him in 2016 with Wichita Falls Nighthawks, we just been connecting ever since. We went on to Carolina together, then I went up to the AFL, and then we finally clicked back up in Billings, and now in Duke City again. So, man, our relationship is great.
For sure, that's really awesome to hear. So, jumping from the CIF to the IFL, what are some differences you feel in terms of how the leagues are run?
Me personally, talent-wise, it's better talent overall with the O lineman, D lineman, receivers, DBs. It's just better talent too, in my eyes. And then overall with it's ran different. It's more organized for me to say the IFL than the CIF.
For sure. So I agree with you. So kind of going into next year, I know you're still deciding on some things, but the AFL came out and they announced that they're going to 16 cities. How did you feel about their announcement?
Man, I'll just have to wait and see what happens. Of course, I'm an older vet, so you just don't go off what everybody say. You just got to see it happen and then make a decision off that.
For sure. So, at this point in your career, what's your daily routine looking like in the off season?
Get up, take my daughter to school, go to work, then I get off and hit the gym.
For sure.
You got to work nowadays. You got to go do some work if you got bills to pay, man.
For sure. What do you do for work currently?
Right now, I'm working at the airport. So I might be able to fly to Vegas to the IFL game championship. See, might happen.
Man, the IFL championship game. Who do you got in it? Who do you think is going to be in it?
Right now, Frisco's looking great, and daggone Bay Area is looking great also. Man, it's going to be hard for NAS to just go in Bay Area and beat them with a good ranking running. And it's going to be hard with the way TJ is playing right now, and he's catching. I'm throwing everything and running. It's going to be a head-to-head battle. Of course, Coach Wooten over there is a good coach, and you got Coach Cole that stepped up. So it's going to be a good clash. That's the two that I have right now.
For sure. I would say so. Frisco and Bay Area. That would be a great matchup. So a lot of people compare TJ Edwards to Charles McCullum, from 2017. Would you agree with that comparison?
I wouldn't necessarily put it as a comparison because they all do different things in special ways. But I feel like TJ has grown since I played with him, played alongside him. He's definitely a good player right now. He's doing what he's supposed to do to get back outside. So if he gets a chance to get outside, I would love that for him. But you can't compare them two. They got different styles of football playing.
For sure. I agree with that. I think they're two different players that's like comparing like Steve McNair to Michael Vick,
Right. Yeah, because we got one that run We got one that throws it, that wants to throw it. So it's just more so you got to figure out what your strengths are, play to their strengths, and they go from there. But he definitely having a great year this year, and I salute to him.
For sure. So when he played with Wichita Falls, I think a lot of people forget how dominant that team was. Talk about that season as a whole.
Man, we was unstoppable. To be honest, there's nothing that you can do on defense to stop what we was doing, because we all was on the same page. Me, Jolly, Philip Barnett. Then we had Troy Evans come in, and then we also had a Tyrell Goodman that came in. We were all just connected and grew up and learned how to play the game and learn how to play with each other. Of course, we had a leading MVP of Charles McCullum that made everything, but then we had Coach Beck that taught us everything. So it was just like riding a bike. We just got into it and got it going.
For sure. I mean, Coach Billy Beck, he's one of the best in the game. What has he taught you throughout your journey?
Man, he's taught me a lot. I don't even know what to say he haven't taught me. I mean, of course, I can start off with saying he taught me to be a great father, because I see him as he take care of his kids. So, of course, I'm going to take care of mine. But he's definitely installed some good ethics within life, and, of course, within his football game, just to be great and have a great motive. And he just want to win, and I want to win too.
For sure, no, that's definitely really important. So kind of looking forward in your career, I know, how many more years do you personally feel like you have left in the tank?
With the age I'm at, I can give it 1 or 2 more good runs, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to start thinking about my kids and not missing out on certain things on this season during the season. So, I mean, I can give it 1 or 2, but that'll be pushing it. But who knows? My body's still going, so I probably can. As long as I know the game, I can play it as long as I want to. To be honest.
For sure. So kind of going back to your college days, I believe you went to St. Augustine University. Um, that's a great school. A lot of people sleep on it, but it really has produced a lot of good talent. How was your experience there?
Man, it was great, to be honest. This is HBCU in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was more so up for grabs, where back then HBUs wasn't as big as it is now. You can make a video now and be getting looked at HBU. My experience was great. We had NC State right up in the corner. We had Shaw University right around the corner. Just the whole CIAA was great to me. I hold most of the records at my school, so I had a great time. I would love to go back to college and play football again now.
Man, imagine if they made that rule where arena guys could, come back. That would be awesome.
Man, it'd be crazy. And then the transfer portal was crazy right now. You couldn't transfer back then without sitting out. So
How
totally
do you
different.
how do you feel about this whole NIL stuff?
I mean, it's a gift and a curse, because now you have players that they don't feel like they need to work hard to do whatever they got to do to get where they want to go. They can just stay in college and do the bare minimum and get paid for it. And it is a good thing that kids are getting paid to play now, because I was once a college student and I was struggling where I couldn't get groceries, or I had to call my mom to get groceries and stuff like that. So it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, but I'm more so on the good side as far as helping kids out that's struggling, or then that got a one parent home or something like that.
I agree with that. I think that's a really good point. About how it changed over time. Um, so kind of looking forward now. Who are some NFL receivers or like receivers in general that you enjoy watching?
I got a bunch of old school receivers. I'm a Steve Smith guy. I'm a Jacoby Jones guy, and I'm definitely a Julio Jones guy for sure. But right now to this day, uh, I have to say Devontae Adams. But other than that, I'm the old school type of dude, man. I need to see those old cats. Everybody's prima donnas now.
So I mean, Julio Jones was dominant, Jacoby Jones was dominant, but one guy who I think what do you personally think? Do you think if Josh Gordon stayed in the NFL, you think he would be a Hall of Famer?
That's a tough decision because I mean he put up some good numbers, but everybody probably would have caught on to his game and figured that out. But I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. That's tough. It'll be up in the air. I give him a nah. I don't think he's gonna make it. He wouldn't have made it.
Okay. So now we have the XFL, we have the USFL, we have all these leagues. I love all these leagues. I think they give opportunities to guys. But do you think we'll get back to the point where we can see guys from the NAL or IFL go straight to the NFL?
I think we could get to that point, but it's more so got to be on the agent because I didn't seen a couple of players killed the IFL, NAL, and it didn't nothing happen. But I feel like some of the guys just as far as owning stuff, they don't look down on our league or look into the league until NFL players start coming to the league. Now that NFL guys are in the league, now they're taking a closer look and see there's talent there. I remember Caleb Holly coming from Sioux Falls got to the CFL. I think 2017 he scored 5 touchdowns on us. And next game I think he was in the CIFL. I mean the CFL. So I mean it's more so I'm guessing the agent thing, man, because we done had guys. Of course, we done had Drew Powell and that MVP a couple of years. No one gave him a chance. I mean, Charles McCullum, of course, MVP and been killing this league. Don't want to give him a chance. But as far as they want to say age don't got nothing to do with you being a good player or being possible to help your team do stuff. So it's all about who you know or what agent you got, something like that.
For sure. I mean, personally, I think you still have a good, 7 years left in the tank to play outdoor football. But I think that, like you said with the whole agent thing and everything, nowadays, what are some things that you think make organizations unsuccessful? We saw 2 teams in the NAL fold in 2 weeks. What are some things you think that could be worked out?
I just don't. I think most owners come in there thinking that they can just lowball everybody or not do what they say they're going to do or give people what they say they're going to give them, and it makes a turn a different way because I done been to an organization where hey, some guys didn't have ride to practice or we couldn't have food on certain nights, and that'll take a toll on some players where some of their players end up wanting to go home. Then now the team is getting out on social media and stuff because they're not. I don't want to call a team out. I mean, it would just happen in the CIF when a team wasn't getting eaten or something like that. But it made the owner look bad, and it seemed like he didn't know what he was doing. But they got to come together and make sure their team has stable food, stable rides, and just make sure their players is comfortable because we're home away from home. We got kids to go back to, but I mean, if we go back home, then you're just going to find another player, which you're not going to find a good caliber player. Then your team is going to be sorry.
Definitely. That's a great point. So Tyrone, I want to thank you for taking the time out on coming on the show. My final question for you is, I know you do a lot of things with the youth. What is your biggest piece of advice for the youth? And what do you think currently in today's day the biggest distraction that prevents the youth from reaching their goals?
I'm gonna answer the first one first. I'm gonna say this to you: make sure y'all get them grades right. Stay in school because there's nothing out here in the streets, man. Kids are dying every day at a young age, picking up guns and following the crowd. Just listen to your parents and go to school because I promise it ain't nothing in the streets for nobody. And then the second point, I think the biggest thing is social media right now. Like guys feel like they don't have to work because social media is helping them do more getting famous or what's the going viral. Everybody want to go viral now. So nobody really is not working as hard. They probably work hard for the video, but after that video, then they went back to the couch. So social media is something different right now.
That's just facts right there, man. Well, Tyrone, really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on the show. I look forward to watching you next year, wherever you land, and keep grinding. And I hope to see you at the airport sometime, when I come down there. So
Got you, man. Hey, I'm coming to Mass. Tell Mass to pick me up.
man, have a good rest of your day.
All right, man.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.